Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stamper. Thank you for joining me today. Today I seem to be a little bit obsessed with these Easter baskets, but today I'm bringing you this cute little Easter bunny basket that houses one of the beautiful little miniature Lindt chocolate bunnies. I did see something very similar on Pinterest, which is probably pretty much where I get most of my ideas from. But to be honest, when I looked at the lady's YouTube that made this, she actually had a basket cut die. And I thought, well, okay, that's fine. But I don't have one. And like most things, I like the challenge. So I thought, well, I'm just going to have a go at making one myself, which I did. And I think it's really cute, especially with the little red bow like the little bunny has on. So they are teeny tiny, as you can see. Look, it just sits in the palm of my hand. But they are dead easy to make, so I'm going to show you how I made it. I'll just move all these bits out of the way. So, Daffodil Delight cardstock that I have, and it is 3 by 3.5 inches wide, which is 7.5 by 9 centimetres, and we're simply going to score at 1 inch on all 4 sides, which is 2.5 centimetres. So it's an easy weasy one to do. Okay, so that's all the scoring we need to do. We're then going to fold and burnish our score lines, and then as we do, we're going to cut and wedge our little tabs. So I found it tidier if you cut the wedges along the front and the back, if that makes sense. Still, my brain's just gone completely today. Yes, that's right. So if you cut down the longer pieces, okay, so you've got the two shortest sort of sides, and then this will be front and back. So if you cut along those, it does give you a tidier finish. And then, as I said, we're literally just cutting all 4 corners into wedges. And then, once that's done, you have this cute little image. In fact, my other one is in the bin. I know you're going to be horrified. This is the basket that was my sort of prototype to see what it would look like. And I don't know if you can see the difference of the edges here. I think this one looks a lot nicer and a lot tidier. This one, when I did it, you see, I cut the sides differently, and I just think it just looks a mess. Even if you sort of try and give it a bit of a squish. I know, I wasn't impressed, so that was it. That's how it went. Basket Weave Dynamic Textured Impressions Embossing Folder. Simply pop this inside, and then let's run it through the Big Shot. Now, it is, oh heavens, I'm sure this gets heavier. It is a dynamic embossing folder, so we simply need a Big Shot platform. Remember to put your embossing folders in fold end first. A single plate sandwich on the top, and then we just run it through. Move that back out of the way. And so here is my cute basket now embossed, but it's all flat again. But don't panic, because the fold lines will simply just fold back up in place. So now we just need to adhere our sides. Now, I found when I did this 2 strange things. So firstly, I used my snail and I just added a tiny bit to the tabs. Okay. You then need to cut your handles. Okay, so these are my handles, and as you can see, they're layering ovals. So they are the 2 smallest of the, excuse the mess of my ovals, the sticky's gone. They're the 2 smallest, but what I did found when I came to die cut them, let me just see if I can find a bit of paper. I'll just grab my Whisper White, it's always closest. What I found was that instead of cutting that and then cutting that and having to do 4 runs through the Big Shot, if you lie the smallest and the largest and run it through, you then take this one and this one off. This one will sit nicely inside that one, and this one will sit on the outside. And so you actually only have to do 2 runs through, not 4. Just saves you a little bit of time. So then you end up with 2 of these beautiful handles. And so what I found then was wet glue required. So I used my snail to, if you like, give my basket a temporary glue. So just, I'm not squeezing hard, I'm just giving a gentle tap to hold that in place. Likewise with this one, just the same. Then what I did was I got my wet glue and I peeled the front off. They should have stayed together. Let's try that again. Right, so they stay together. Then you can pop your wet glue all over here and then pop your handle in there. Then you've got a minute or 2 just to have a little play. Make sure you're happy with it. Make sure that it's sitting where it should. And then obviously you can then give it a press. And it kind of gives your handle a bit more added strength because now it's in between those points. And exactly the same on the other side. So we've held those 2 together. Bit of wet glue, and yes, I have got a lot going on here. I want it to stick. Again, put my handle inside. If needs be, make sure it's lined up with the other one. And then again, let's just go in and give it a good press for that glue to set. So a tiny little press just generates the sort of baskety look to it. And then the last thing I did was 2 really small strips of cardstock, again Daffodil Delight, and these are 1/4 inch by 1 3/4, which is about 0.7 centimetres by 5 centimetres. I've then just used my snail, and don't go from end to end because you don't need the adhesive right at the ends, and I just sort of added them, oops, to the top edge, front and back of my basket. I think it just finished it off. Just made it look a little bit more baskety, I guess. Just try and make sure you eyeball the equal end. You know, these bits are equal at both ends. And there is your dinky Easter basket to pop your Lindt bunny in. Oh, I nearly forgot the ribbon. And of course I'm using this lovely lipstick ribbon, gross grain ribbon. Now, you and I both know that I'm really not the best when it comes to tying ribbons on stuff. Give me this piece of ribbon, I will tie you a bow, and it will be not pretty bad. Put it on something, no chance. It looks a mess. See, look at that. A really quite nice ribbon. Trim those ends and not your fingers like I just nearly did. And then I actually just used a glue dot, but you could use wet glue or any adhesive you liked. And I just popped it on either the handle or on that extra little panel that you had going on there. But there they are. There are my little Lindt Easter bunnies. Little baskets. Aren't they cute? I hope you like them, and I hope you have someone that you can make these cute little baskets for. Hope to see you all again soon. Bye.